Story time. So back in 2005, I had a small landscape business with a lifelong friend of mine, Joel, who's been in some of my older videos, and he'll come into play later on in this video. Him and I had a landscape business together. We had no idea what we were doing. We were terrible at business. We were good at the actual landscape part of it, but business-wise, we were just young and immature, and we didn't know what we were doing. So inevitably, the business itself was failing. Those were some of the best times of my life, though. Him and I just out cutting grass, hauling leaves, all that stuff. Working with someone that you're friends with like that was like I want to change anything. It really was just a great time in my life. Also, at the same time, in 2005, summer of 2005, I got married. I bought a house, which, if anybody remembers, 2005 was at the peak of the housing market at the time. And gas prices went through the roof. Joel and I tried to inform our customers that we were raising prices, and nobody wanted to hear it. It was towards the end of the lawn season we started to do that, and customers didn't want to hear it. And then going into the winter, it was just sort of like we knew what was coming. And then we found out that my wife at the time, my now ex-wife, was pregnant with our first child. So Joel and I made a decision. We'd just shut it down and move on and go in and figure out something else. I knew with the house and the baby on the way that I needed something for sure, like a paycheck every week that was going to help support everything. So I went in search of a job, and it's stressful. Anybody that's ever been on a job hunt, it's very stressful, and especially for someone like me who doesn't have a particular skill, or didn't have a particular skill at the time. I didn't want to go work for a landscape crew. So I just started looking on the internet, and still looking in the paper at the time. Newspapers were still a thing. And I came across an ad that said, basically, locksmith wanted, experience preferred, this kind of thing. And I was just answering. I was like sending out resumes and filling out applications everywhere because I needed a job. So I sent one to this place, and I can't remember exactly how it went down, but I know I had to call a few times. And I think I was a little more persistent with this one because I looked at it as locksmith as a skill that, it's like a trade I could get into and have some kind of career. And ultimately, I went in there, I interviewed, and they hired me. They hired me when they had no reason to hire me. I was just some kid at the time. taking a chance, that they might hire me, and they did. They took a chance on me, and that turned into an 18-year career, which, I've said this to people in my life. Just about everything that I have today is because they were willing to take a chance on me. Now, I also, I worked my ass off, especially early on, just for that reason. I knew, like, if they were willing to give me this opportunity, I had to take advantage of it, and I had to prove to them that they made the right decision. It's just a small family-owned business, and I just, like I said, I just committed myself to the job. To prove myself as best I could, and I think I did that. I was there continuously for 14 years, and then at the end of 2019, my friend Joel, same one I had the landscape business with, he had started a small handyman construction kind of business a couple of years prior to that, and was expanding a little, and asked me if I wanted to come on board with him and we'd be working together again. And I thought about the times when we were landscaping and what a great time it was. And so I was also pretty burnt out with the locksmith job, and there's a lot of other factors, the neighborhood that it's in being one of the biggest ones. It's just a terrible neighborhood. I don't even want to get into what all goes on around there. I could make a whole nother video on that. So yeah, at the end of 2019, not knowing what was to come, I left the locksmith job and I went to work with Joel. And then the events of 2020 happened. So we were kind of like, what do we do? Then, near the end of 2020, things started to pick up. We got it kind of in the swing of things. And then I started to realize that construction just wasn't for me. It was my body was beat up. I was tired and sore and just angry all the time. And Joel noticed it, and I noticed it, and we had a conversation, and we just decided, for the sake of our friendship, because we've legitimately been friends our whole lives. Our mothers knew each other before either of us was born, so we've known each other our whole lives. So for the sake of our friendship, we just decided, like, we shouldn't work together in this capacity. Since I left, he's gone on. He's got his GC's license, and the business has taken off. And and so it turned out it was the best thing. When we decided to part ways, here I was again, like, what do I do? And the locksmith, when I left in 2019, had said, the door is always open. If you want to come back, the door is always open. So now it was fall of 2021, and I was looking around for jobs a little bit, and there was nothing really worthwhile. So I swallowed my pride and I sucked it up, and I contacted them and I asked them if they'd have me back, and we had a little conversation back and forth, and true to their word, they took me back. Again, there was no need for them to do so, and I was very thankful that they did. Part of me knew going into it, though, like, I still remember the feelings I had when I left, and how I was burnt out, and how the neighborhood just completely sucked. But without saying anything to anybody else, I had it in my head that I was going to commit myself to at least a year, and really, I should go closer to 2 years, just to be fair to them. So here we are 2.5 years later, and I just can't do it anymore. And it's been that way for a little while. I'm just burnt out with locksmith work. I've had enough of the neighborhood, like absolutely enough. I dread driving in there every day. And honestly, I probably stuck around longer than I should have. I find myself just being bitter and angry about having to go there. Nothing personal to them. It's just, I should have made the change. But as it turns out, having 18 years of locksmith experience is not really, that skill is not really transferable into anything else. I found that out the hard way as I started applying for jobs. And there's absolutely zero chance that I would ever go work for another locksmith. To me, that would be disrespectful to them. And I know, like, if I wanted to continue to be a locksmith, that there's no better situation I could be in than with, the current job. Yeah, anyways, it took me a while. I finally landed a new job. I'm not really going to get into it, what it is, because, I don't know, it's one of those kind of jobs that probably shouldn't mix, like, personal life and work life and put it out there like this. So today was officially my last day as a locksmith. There is no going back this time. I can't do that to myself, and I just wouldn't ask. I just wouldn't do that again. They were gracious enough to have me back once, and that's it. I'm done. I'm done with locksmith work. That's all there is to it. So it's a little scary at 47. Well, 46. I'll be 47 here in a few months. Making a career change, but again, I found an opportunity where someone is willing to take a chance on me. So I sort of have that same feeling I did when I got hired by the locksmith back in December of 2005, that I'm gonna go and prove to them that they made the right decision. I'm excited for the new opportunity, and I will be forever, like I said before, forever thankful to the Jack Navorian family for taking a chance on me back in 2005 and then rehiring me in 2021. Both times when they had no reason to. They're great people. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. They're gonna do great without me, and hopefully I'm gonna do great at the new job. Yeah, so that's it. It's time to move on. No looking back, and see where it goes from here. Cheers, everybody. Thank you for watching. Have a great night. Bye-bye.